pick, I would say. I think both teams are very strong. It's going to be very interesting. Like, the first match is going to be very close. But all in all, I think C9 are a little bit more fired up. And I think they're coming into this, kind of clean. And they say, you know what? This new day, new time, we're going to take it home.
Well, you were chatting with them. I mean, they seem in better spirits, right?
Yes.
Because we are ready to head to the map. So good luck to them. Good luck to Method. And good luck to our wonderful casters, Anders and Sendler.
Bye. Thank you so much, Rachel. Definitely appreciate that. We're going to do our best here on Route 66, starting off first between Cloud9 and Method. Welcome. It's match 2 of day 2 here at the Overwatch Open in the E-League Studios. Definitely very exciting. Selma, are you excited?
I am, and I'm not.
Oh.
Because it is a real tough situation when you're a team that focuses and specializes on one map sort of scenario, and yet all of your strong maps can get removed before you even get the chance to pick. I mean, Cloud9, they played the meta, they played the system, and now they actually have a pretty decent advantage versus Method. You heard it from Snow. Snow likes to play Koth, and they're not going to get the chance to take that fight versus Cloud9. Instead, it's a bunch of payload.
Maybe one of these maps is like a pocket pick for Method that we don't know yet, but you're right. Some of their strong maps definitely seem to have gone out the window, although they're doing a pretty good job pushing. They are on the offensive. They've got the Bastion up on the payload. Great Hook comes in and shuts down Snow. Hanzo going to be out of it. Good shot from Reaver there, and we'll see if that Hanzo, or the Bastion is going to do anything. It doesn't really seem like it. It worked up until the corner, but that's fine. Cloud9 only really wanted to defend up until that point. They were going to let them get the first space early on. And up there, they have the vertical high ground to work with, and that's going to be great news for them.
It's Reaver, man. That's such a sick position to have that Roadhog in, because he can just sit there and try and cherry pick his hooks. Man, if there is an opening there, he picked up the Hanzo, right? But otherwise, he can go for the supports, the back line, if you don't deal with them. So long as Reaver controls that spot, boom, it happens again. Zarya gets hooked in, instantly gets the bubble off, but still, there's the opening to start things off here for Cloud9.
So maybe apart from the Hanzo and the Bastion early on, we're now sort of reset into a more common composition here for the Method side. Going to see if they can make it work. The Ana ult's finally up. Going to see if she can find a target. Not when she's dead, obviously. Chronic picking up 2 big kill, but Surefour coming in and helping out a little bit here. Snow still being a little bit annoying on the Tracer for the Method side. Trying to see if he can pick up Zarya here. Building some ult and even getting some punches in the meantime. And Snow actually doing quite a good job right now.
He's staying alive. He's making sure that the point can't back up. That's what Cloud9 want, right? If there isn't anybody from Method sitting on the payload, what are you going to do? It starts reversing back towards the spawn. And so Snow just staying alive, doing some damage, keeping that pressure up. And this is more of what we saw from him yesterday. Snow really impressed a lot of us with his Tracer play. Now that he's on land, 0 ping, it's really sick to see.
We have the ult coming out from Ana onto Ultimate Web. Gonna see, oh, there's the ult coming through. Big ult. Drops 2 big players and trying to see if he can follow up with the shotgun. He's still about half health right now, but he's going to get the kill. Ultimate Web tracking them. Psycho Waffy probably going to get the last hit there, but surely it must have been the Reaper doing the majority of the damage. So almost 5 kills happening for Ultimate Web then. Chronic going to be helping out with the lightning gun. Method with a really big fight then. And it was real weird. They only had 2 ults. They only had Ana and the Death Blossom. That was what they had.
I'm really I'm just happy to see this battle that continues to happen between Surefour and Snow. It's still like, all right, well, we're not on King of the Hill, but we're still going to go double trace it. We're still going to be nuisances. We're still really going to actually have an impact on this. We got to keep an eye on Surefour as well. Eggsy now has his Graviton, so we'll see where he decides to set that up with his teammates, just trying to lob some nades in there, get some damage. But between Eggsy and Psycho Waffle, Snow should be able to get his ult very quickly, as well as Rolf. I think Method have got a few options going into this upcoming fight.
Well, what initially seemed like a crazy move coming out of Chronic, jumping up onto that bridge where there were 3 people waiting for him, it's actually very clever, because in the Winston ult up there, he can knock people off the map. So I actually think that's a very cool idea. It didn't really work out, but I like the effort, I like the attempt of it. Just some good, understanding of the map architecture and when that Winston ult really becomes big. But look at Cloud9. Should give them some credit here. I mean, they're holding Method back a little bit. They're holding on to their ultimates. They got 4 of them right now.
Actually, this is real clean. They are trying to manage that. Adam is about to get his sound barrier as well. That's going to give them some more oomph here. And there it goes. Instantly used. It's going to buy a little bit more time here for Cloud9 to work with. And they are picking up kills. Method falling behind. But one thing, Method, they realize we're at a disadvantage in this, and they aren't really throwing the ults down too quick. They're still saving them. That wombo combo is still a possibility.
Surefour coming in with a kill there on Snow, so he was alive for a long time in the back line, but it won't help. I feel like Snow's doing a really good job harassing the supports of Cloud9, but it doesn't really help if the rest of Cloud9 are still winning against the rest of Method. And that's a little bit what CP and Huck were talking about going into this. So it's going to be interesting to see if Method can maybe come back from this kind of scenario.
Exactly, that can be the frustrating thing about Tracer, right? You're doing damage, you're staying alive, but you aren't getting kills, and that isn't really setting it up for your teammates either. You need to really have a little bit more of an impact. But now we actually have the ults up for Method. They still are holding on to 3. Wombo combo still possible. Ultimate Weapon's got the Blossom as well. And right now, I mean, they're just going dry. They aren't actually spending anything. Finally, Exy decides to chuck it down, and that's going to set it up for Snow.
Really good double kill for him. They need to push forward here. 50 seconds on the clock to make it to the next point. He's not that far away, so one big fight, and they're probably going to be there. And it seems like it's going to be this one, as they are all going to be staying alive on the Method side. And Ultimate Web pushing forward with that Shadow Step, and I definitely like that. Just the idea that he can get in and be really aggressive and maybe even catch someone from Cloud9 off guard.
And pretty soon, Rolf is going to have his Nano Boost, and we've seen this combo time and time again so far throughout this tournament. The Death Blossom plus, you know, the Nano Boosted Reaper, and there it is, gets it instantly, and he gets knocked off! Huge play, he gets shut down, he only gets the one, that's Grego down, but Ultimate Weapon not able to just completely shred, still doing a lot of damage, but it's not, point is, it wasn't as pretty as it could have been.
Great Earth Shatter coming out there from the Cloud9. Reinhardt, and they're going to see if they can maybe clean it up here behind. They did have the Graviton Surge going in. We're almost out of time right now. It's going to be into overtime. We'll try and see if Method can push it through. They are. A couple of people on the point so far here, trying to see if they can make it work. It will be a lot of damage coming out of Exy. He's almost fully charged, and now he's going to try and follow it up with the ult. Exy getting the double kill on Grego and Adam, and I think that might just give them the edge.
Surefour still alive on the Reaper, just barely buying a little bit more time to allow his teammates to rotate in, trying to stall out this payload. And, well, the bet, he actually did manage to buy just a second there, but a minute 30 gets added to the clock, and now, well, it really does have to be the perfect run here for Method. They have no room for error, so little time, and Kai picking off Snow is not going to help things here.
Yeah, now on the main, which I definitely like. This last point, I think you have so many options to swap out. Suddenly, unlike the rest of Route 66, now you're in confined quarters. You can play much more closely, and it's interesting to see if Cloud9 are going to try and abuse that, or even if Method are. Right now, they're sticking to the same kind of setup, pushing forward here, but they can't afford to lose. They can lose, they may want like half a team fight, but then they really need to make this work.
Now Snow trying to force it there, kind of fluffs his ult, and that's going to come back to haunt them to bed. And Surefour finding kills. That's Chronic and Snow down. Ultimate Web trying to get in deep, and he is going to do, well, he's actually just going to survive. He is getting healed up by the Ana. That's going to try and feed into that Nano Boost, but it's so far off, and they're just getting completely wiped out. Method, they have 35 seconds left on the clock to try and get a push going.
Cloud9 are doing a really good job of handling this Nano Boost Reaver metagame right now, and I think something that teams seem to be forgetting sometimes is it's not just the Nano Boost ult. Like, even after the ult wears off for Reaper, he's still dangerous with the Nano Boost. That's a big bomb coming in there. Reaver doing some damage and trying to see if he can follow it up. The stun is in, and look at that. Surefour picking up 3 with a huge ult coming out of Reaper, and surely that's going to be the end of it here. They have almost no time. Method, they're going to have to trickle in to keep the overtime in to try and make this work, and I just think they're too far away at this point in time. What a great play coming out of Cloud9 here. The final stage, so it's real close, and they are trickling in one at a time. It's tough to try and do this.
Yeah, they're going to get cleaned up here. Reaver is just wreaking havoc in the back line, hunting down Rolf. Rolf just barely making it back around the corner, and they are hanging in here. Method still somehow. Rolf will get the Nano off before he gets picked off, and now we have to see who's actually going to be able to achieve anything with it. Because Method, they're still alive with a couple players here on the point. Surefour, though, trying to do the best that he can to shut them down.
It's actually very impressive from Method. I can't believe that they're still in this. Reaver even hit a double kill with that ultimate, but somehow they're still trickling onto this point and making it work. Now they picked up the Soldier 76 on Exy. He is going to be going down to Adam. That's a big kill. He does provide a good amount of healing as well. Fighting Rolf again, who's finally going to be going down. The bet taking out Psycho Waffle is so close now. The overtime almost taking down then, but Method trying to keep it alive. Cloud9 getting so many kills. There's one person left here, Tracer, flying all over the place. He's going to be out of it too, and that'll be Cloud9 finally defending at the final stage of Route 66. That actually looked like they were about to turn it in their favor, Method. Incredible.
They hang in there for so long. Over time, right? It's all just about getting another foot on the payload, just pushing it a little bit further, and it's not quite there. And so Cloud9, I think it just came down to Cloud9. They managed to buy way too much time at the start. The first point, they just bought so much time, it really ran down the time bank for Method.
Right when it ticked into overtime on that final stage, Cloud9 got something like 3 kills in a row that were unopposed, like unanswered. You'd think surely at that point in time, the best Method could do is trickle in one at a time, and that's not really a solution. That's just a patchwork, you know, sort of keeping things going a little bit. But then they won some really big fights. I think Ultima went up on the Reaper. He got like a couple of really good kills in, and suddenly looked manageable for a minute there. So that's actually pretty impressive. But Cloud9, they do put an end to it. So we'll see if Method are going to be able to put up a good defense now that they're going to be on the opposite side here. Still only, you know, map 1 of 3, so we never know. But we do have Temple of Anubis in there.
There's plenty of time left. Yeah, exactly. 2CP, the assault map, basically. We have 2 points that you're looking to capture. Anubis, that would be really fascinating to see. As well as Hollywood, which is a hybrid map. So, I mean, there's still some options out there. But this is the straight, you know, push the payload map from point to point, and we'll see if they can actually manage to pull this off. The defense here for Method. And Method, I mean, it's really interesting to hear their story because they haven't had any experience at a live event just yet. And they also deal with their team, most of their team being split up around the world. And so when they're playing online matches, when they're practicing, it's actually tough for them sometimes because you've got guys who've got wooden PCs, you've got weird LAN or weird ping issues. Now that they're all in the same place, they're just having a blast. They're having a ball. They're so happy to be here because they're finally able to show what they're capable of here, making it into the second day.
Just like Cloud9, Method are going to be falling back to the gas station there. They don't want to take a fight too early on. You can't blame them. I mean, this position, first of all, you're going to be next to the Abyss, so you could get knocked off if you're too far up. There's just so many risks at holding this this close. So they're going to wait. Reaver on the other side does spot out one person, but no one going down yet. They're actually going to go very aggressive here. Method come out of the woodwork, fighting. Ultima Web taking down Grego. A big support kill coming in here from the Genji on the Method side. A huge hook coming through, and Surefour going to get the last kill on that one, but credit to Reaver.
That is when it's so annoying to play against Roadhog because it feels like that hook just extends into infinity. I mean, look at that. Look at how far away he was, and he still manages to get that hook. And that messes up everything now for Method, who are forced to give ground. They're still trying to hold on to the high ground with Winston, but yeah, they're backing off at this point. They're saying, right, we need to wait for the guys to res, and even then, we can't really afford to give up too much here for Cloud9. If we stagger our res timers, that's just going to make life easier for Cloud9.
I wonder what convinced them to go for that fight instead of waiting around the corner. I'm not quite sure. Either way, Surefour here in a little bit of trouble. Gonna have to go with the raid form. He still hits a great shot there on Etsy and goes for the fight against the Ana on the other side as well. It seems like Cloud9 is getting all the kills. Psycho Wolf going down and being followed up there. Snow gonna be falling to Grego. This is not good. The Winston, I feel like he's always the last guy alive in the background here. Chronic, but he should be the guy initiating surely on Cloud9 and not the rest of the team first. There's some mismatch going on here.
That's what I'm wondering, right? Because if you go back to the start of that fight, right, he does jump in and he throws down the shield. And that's the thing with Winston is you can kind of go for the duck and dive. You can get in and then jump out as well because his boost is on such a short cooldown. But then, yeah, like what happens after that, right? It's like, all right, you get the initiate, but then where are you going after that to support your mates? And we're not quite seeing it from Method. Cloud9, though, they're way ahead now. Look at the ults.
Pay attention to how many shots Grego is hitting on Surefour when he's up on this. It's so incredible. Now he's going to get nano boosted into the ult, goes for it, takes down one, and does a lot of damage. It's still active here, so D.Va going to be out of the suit, and also, I think, just out of HP. He's fighting back right now, but it's not going to be for long. Surefour and Grego, just an absolute great combination. Grego has fallen in the meantime, so he's going to be out of it for a little bit, but it's just too much.
Dude, this is just Surefour.
If you go for Surefour, then Grego's going to be healing him, and if you pay too much attention to him, you're going to get hooked by Reaver. Is really hard to deal with.
And Kai with the support. I mean, he's getting those bubbles in there, allowing Surefour to be ultra aggressive, allowing him to take it to the fight. Exactly, there we go. Once again, bubble on him. That sets it up for the pressure. The shotgun's going to work. And now Kai just trying to buy some time. He doesn't have his ult anytime soon. They did use quite a few of them in the last push, Cloud9. But the bet, he's got the Earth Shatter, so we have to see if he decides to actually use it at any point here.
I wonder if... I'm not sure if that's what I really saw, but I want to say that Debet charged D.Va just as she came out of the suit, so it was almost timed. I wish we could see a replay of that. If that's really what happened, that's actually quite a good timing.
Wombo combo is ready to go for Cloud9 again. They have, and really, it's pick your poison, Grego. You get to nano boost a Reinhardt, or you can go ahead and nano boost Surefour, who seems to be hitting every shot that he takes. So tough call here.
Look at the time that Cloud9 have. I mean, at this point, Method were in about 50 seconds to try and get to the end. And obviously they ended in overtime and everything to just stay alive for a little bit. Again, Grego playing such a mean Ana right now. Just an expert at the moment. Surefour going to be making a 1 kill. Tries with the ult, follows up with the nano boost, and he gets 1 more kill. Defendo's helping out. Surefour now with the triple, taking down Chronic. And this is looking so good in the back line. Lucio going to be out. Psycho Waffle immediately executed. And Surefour, that's our 3rd kill for him there. Trying to come in with the Dragon Blade from the top line. Ultimate Web, but they're just zoning him out. And the sound barrier, giving them so much HP to work with. And of course it's Surefour taking him out as well.
And that's what you're doing when a Genji's on the field. You have to have that Transcendence, you have to have that sound barrier, something to mitigate the damage that he's going to do with the Dragon Blade. And they're just doing a magnificent job right now, Cloud9. There isn't really a whole lot that Method seems to be able to put together. And they've just been ground to a halt, but they're right on the edge. This is actually looking very interesting now for Method. Are they going to be able to pull this off? They have quite a bit of time.
See if they can do it. One more step in. There it is. Cloud9 just making it work. That was a long fight, and I mean, Surefour did get like 4 or 5 kills at the end when they were fighting, so it almost looked like it should have been over even quicker, but then it's still is not enough for Method. He just couldn't hold on to it at the end, and I mean, that Dragon Blade, it is really good, but not if you're fighting alone against like 5 people who have sound barrier. That's just too much. So great first map for Cloud9. They're going to run away with it.
Kind of plays into that Genji reset mechanic as well, right? Where you get the assist with the slash, and you're able to just constantly slash everywhere, get that Dragon Blade with the cleave, just do massive damage, and you can't dive in there. But I think this again, that first point for Method on the offense and on the defense, it feels like on the defense they just wanted to take a risk. They're like, right, well, we need to go for some kind of big play here to throw Cloud9 off, because if we play standard, I think that they feel that Cloud9 at this point have more experience. More experience on the map. They feel more comfortable, and if they were trying to play cookie cutter, it might not have worked out for them. So they were like, right, all right, let's go for something big here.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where it's so good to be a caster and not a player, because that aggressive move early on really cost them dearly. Yeah. So we can always say now, well, that wasn't a good move. But if it had worked, we would obviously say, well, that's great. They anticipated the push around the corner, and they played really well. So I'm not quite sure. I think you might be right that they're feeling like the underdog, and they feel like they have to take the extra risk. It just didn't really pay off this time, but I still think Method put in a pretty good showing, and definitely some good individual play every once in a while as well. And
we're going to get some variety in this matchup. Obviously, 3 different kind of map types going into this, but the second map, Anders, is going to be Anubis. And it's the losing team, the team that loses the first map, that gets to pick the following map. And so this is interesting. This is going to shake things up a little bit here. We haven't really seen too much Anubis play.
We haven't. That last control point on Temple of Anubis is really hard to cap. If you know what you're doing on the defensive side, if you start bringing out, divas and Maze to sort of hold it, it could be really rough. Very interested to see how that's going to be unfolding. I must say, I think for a large part, and I think throughout this tournament, that until something changes, until someone figures out something else, the teams that are going to be doing better right now are the teams who will quickly figure out how to deal with nano-boosted Reaper. There seems to be sort of a couple different ways. Like, if you have the Zenyatta, obviously if you Discord Orb and just try and focus him, even if he's in his ult and doing everything, could try and just take him out, but if not that, then that's the problem, right? So if not that, then you almost need like Transcendence and Sound Barrier just to outride out the damage. And if you have the Reinhardt up, then you could get the shield in there. But it feels like you need to all the time anticipate when and that's coming and from what angle. And if you're doing that, if you've got good positional play and you're doing a good job of that, I think you're going to be in a good position. I think Cloud9 had at least twice they managed to pretty much just defuse that combination. That's 2 ults wasted, right? Nano Boost and Death Blossom out, and then suddenly you're in a good position.
Well, it's like you're looking at the 2 at the setup as well. What you're forcing out with the Nano Boost Death Blossom are both support ults. And then, say your team has, the sound barrier prepared on Lucio or something, that's you just crush through. Even if they manage to outlast it, then they have no way to hang into the fight if you're running around with a sound barrier of your own at that point.
But I would say at this point, it feels like some teams, they sort of run and play defensively while the Death Blossom is going on, and then when he comes out of the Death Blossom, he's still nano boosted. It lasts through the Reaper ultimate, and then the shot, they do so much damage. So it's you got to be really careful, right? It feels like people need to respect it even after the ult has worn off. They still got to think, there's still that nano boost going on.
He's still a race car. He's like an F1 just zipping around all over the place. There's no running away from him, and if he gets up close to you, it's just boom. one shot, headshot, you're done. And well, you have a bit of the information here for Reaper. This is the character, the hero that we're talking about right now, that we're trying to break down on this. But he's an offensive hero, obviously, and he's got basically 2 shotguns. So strong wrists, right?
Not just shotgun, Hellfire shotgun, Samler.
Hellfire shotguns.
Look, I mean, he's being talked around backstage, and also, I mean, amongst some of the players as probably the only sort of really reliable tank poster, at least close to that, right? Especially because if you wanted something else, I mean, damage boosted Pharaoh with the rockets is also good, but that requires 2 people. Like, it's a very different setup, right?
Or so Zenyatta Discord Orb, right? I think is the other go-to that you're going to use.
Yeah,
but then you're almost using that to pick off squishies, right? Because you can just blow somebody up. I mean, so it's just the shotguns. They do so much damage. If you're chain shoot, like if you're up close versus a Winston, Winston isn't going to kill you before you kill him if you're hitting all your shots, right? Like you are just going to wreck him. So. I mean, he seems to be the go-to, which is interesting, right? It's usually what seems to be happening is, Reaper will be like the mainstay. I'm going to either go for the flanks and get the dives going, or I'm going to be watching my supports back, my back line, but he's so hard to deal with up close.
Some of the other really big DPS characters, like, say, McCree, they require a lot more space. They require a different kind of spacing. You need your team to create that space. Whereas Reaper, because of the Wraith form and everything else, he's got a little bit of an easier chance to escape like that. And we'll see how things unfold here on Temple of Anubis as our second map of the second match of the second day here at the Overwatch Open E-League Studios in Atlanta. Hope you guys are ready for it. It's Method and Cloud9, with Cloud9 winning the first map, and I would say they had a lot of time to get that card pushed to the end. I think they had a really good shot at that.
This will be fun. We already have a change up here. We haven't really seen much Junkrat play.
And Widowmaker on Reaver. I love this, and I love Junkrat.
Okay then. I mean, Reaver, it could all be just about getting that one pick to start things off and then swapping out.
I like the fact that they put the trap at a point where it was like sunk into the ground, just to make it a little bit more tricky.
Trap is the bane of my existence. I think that trap actually is more rage-inducing sometimes than May.
It does last for a long time, as people tend to forget. Let's see if Reaver can do anything here, if we're going to see some good hook shots, maybe flying off one of the walls. He's already sniping even just a little bit, but getting up there, yeah, he's going to fly all the way across and see no targets at all. They're being quite defensive, but that's a good pick. Ultimate Web going to be out of it, and even hitting that shot mid-air on Winston, going for a bit more, doing so much damage. This Widowmaker just wrecking them. Snow going to be out of it as well. Reaver practically winning this first point on his own.
Okay, then. That's like best case scenario right there, pretty much, as good as it gets. You're thinking, okay, maybe he gets one pick and then they figure out how to mitigate him, or they just deal with it. No, Reaver just stays alive forever. And the pressure from his teammates in the meantime, that's the huge thing. And there we go. As soon as that goes through, boom, gets the infrasight going so you can see the setup, and then swaps right out. Very well played here by Cloud9. This is looking so good. How are Method going to be able to deal with this pressure that's been put on them now?
This also tells you just a little bit about the preparation, the homework Cloud9 have been doing. You see they have the composition ready for the first point. As soon as they go in the second point, they're ready to swap it out. This is all planned out now. They're going to come charging around on the other side. Speed boost in as well from the Lucio. The hook, and oh no, Psycho Waffle going to be out of it. This could be over incredibly quick. Grego is going to be going down, but they have more ults. Surefour coming out with his. It's going to be 1 kill so far, and Rolf, can he follow it up? They're trying more. The bet is going to be falling, so no more shields happening for Cloud9, and that hook is not going to connect, but it is ticking away. They already got the first think in, and they need in the next point here. There's 2 still contesting it. It seems like Method are trying to reset a little bit. Ultimate Web will be going down, and Reaver just living through all of this for a very long time.
This is where it gets really hard, and actually it kind of sucks for Reaver that he picks off Lucio at first and doesn't manage to pick off the Zenyatta rather, because Lucio had no ult. So he gets the insta-give on Lucio, sure, but then Zenyatta still has Transcendence. Zenyatta was the main support role and who had the ults, who was there to buy time for Method to outlast, basically, to withstand that attack.
Now this is interesting because we have 5 minutes and 40 seconds here, and it seemed like Cloud9, sure, in that first push, if they were so close to winning it, maybe they could, surely 5 minutes, this should be easy, but this last point is so hard. They're going to try and go for it again. Earthshatter is up and running, but he's not going to use it just yet. Transcendence comes out very early on here, it feels like. I'm not quite sure about that from Wolf. This might be a problem.
You hear the tire. And it's gone, probably.
It's on the other side, it just never makes it over. I mean, great ice wall coming out from Kai. That's incredibly impressive, but I wonder what triggered that Transcendence, and once it was triggered, why could Method not follow up with some kills, at least 1 or 2? That seemed like a really odd fight. I wish we could replay that whole fight from like a third person. I really want to see exactly what happened at that point in time, because it seemed like that push on its own should have been, at least should have been better contested by Method.
I think so too. I think Method right now are just trying to shake it off, right? I mean, it's not... That first point, Reaver just completely destroying them. Nothing is really working out for Method right now. And it didn't really look like they were able to gel, because that is supposed to be a very difficult point to take over. It's supposed to be a real stall-heavy kind of point where you just survive forever. You're constantly buying time for more teammates to trickle in. And yet Cloud9, yeah, they were just able to stomp all over it. And I think that's just because Method might be feeling just a little bit shaky. But they are giggling right now. I mean, they are getting their laughs in there, but we'll see if they're going to be able to bounce back here on the offense.
Is there anything that could stop Snow from smiling, I wonder? He's always in a good mood. It's incredible. The route that they were taking into the last point, you know, on the right-hand side, and they kind of just all jump over the wall. They use the Lucio speed boost to get in there so quick. I feel like that's very intelligent, because if you go in for the main route, or even if you go into the left side, like into the tomb side of it, you're almost always going to be telegraphing that the push is coming, you know, so they know they're ready for it, right? This one over the wall seems to be incredibly fast. But now we're going to see how Method do on the attack. We've got the Genji out, and that may be the biggest sort of diversion from the regular pattern here. And on Cloud9, on the defense now, I don't know, it's looking fairly standard, I would say.
Actually, yes. They are kind of going back to a tried and true right now, kind of feeding into the current meta with the 3 tanks. No Reinhardt though, so no Reinhardt wall.
How can that platform survive, like
support both of them?
Yeah, like a huge monkey, and also Zarya, the armor and everything.
And that cannon, I mean.
Yeah.
Let's get you reeled up.
Seems like it shouldn't. Method gonna make their way around the corner. Chronic here, is he gonna find an opportunity to maybe create some space for his team? He's got the Harmony up, and he's also got the Discord up from Greco. Now he's gonna be charging in with the Lightning Gun, ready to go on the back line here, puts up the barrier. He is doing a little bit of damage here, but it's Surefour and Defend who are picking up the first 2 kills, and now Chronic probably feeling a little bit lonesome for backup. Where is it coming? There it is. Genji coming through Ultimate Web, taking down 1, and they need a lot more kills right now. He's gonna be out of it, and so will Chronic. So I feel like Chronic created space, but he just didn't get the kills.
Yeah, no no burst. That's the main thing, right? You know, the Tesla cannon can be really frustrating sometimes. It does quite a bit of damage split up in the cleave, but it just takes a long time to get it rolling. You need to stick on that target. I feel like if Snow could have got up there or something along those lines, maybe you lose a couple of the supports and maybe it gets a bit more interesting. But Cloud9, they're doing a fantastic job right now, just surviving, still trying to maintain that high ground as well, make it difficult for Method to get onto the point.
Surefour falling back. He almost went down, but a really good use of the rewind there. Now he's going to be pushing forward a little bit more. Still has the ult. 1 more burst, and that's going to be Ultimate Web out. He swapped out of the Genji and into the Reaper. Still not quite making it work, and XC almost caught in that corner. Surefour not ready to give his life for it, and that's like probably a smart choice. Why do it?
Oh, that would have been such a sick kill, though. That would have delayed things so much. If Eggsy gets picked off, then Method, even more valuable time gets burned off the clock because they have to wait for him to res.
Look at the ult advantage, though, for Cloud9. They're about to have 5 ultimates.
Yeah, this is going to get a bit tricky here. And they're changing it up, Method. You know, they're like, right, okay, we went right, that didn't work. We went mid, didn't work either. Let's go up the left now, try and get that high ground challenge. But no Reinhardt shield to try and mitigate any damage. They're just going to have to just commit to it, and here we go. The big push coming through, and Surefour just ready and waiting with the bomb, and in the choke, this could get real fun for him. Exactly, Wombo combo, and he only gets the 1.
I feel like he got cheated out of that, but it still works relatively well right now for Cloud9. They're doing a lot of damage here. Kai not exactly charged up on the Zarya, so not going to be doing too much damage with the particle cannon, but still going to try and make it work, and almost getting Chronic there. But he's going to manage to escape. Cloud9 still holding on to it. I mean, we're down to 1 minute and 30 seconds of a Method to get the first point, and now you got to wonder, can they do it? They keep swapping out. Now we've got Snow on the McCree. Not necessarily a bad pick, I think, for this one.
Not exactly. If he can get the space! Oh, this is huge! Snow, 2 kills for him with the Deadeye. And yeah, they finally will be able to crack open this first point Method. It took a few tries. They had to change up their strategy, but in the end, they actually managed to make it work. And so now the question, whether they can actually get that last point. They've got 5 minutes to work with here after the reset.
I think the difference between this fight that worked for Method and the ones that didn't is that Cloud9 actually took the fight in much more open space. Previously, Cloud9 would try and fall back into the buildings and not sort of be out in the open. This time, they were either caught or they were just a little bit careless and they were fighting out in the open. Made it much easier for Method to use some of these heroes. Surefour trying to be sneaky, but not as sneaky as he thought. He's going to be jumping down. Snow is already out of it, in fact. And Surefour close range with the shotgun into the Wraith form. And actually, he's going to be able to find that kill. So pretty good job here. And I think they're going to be able to reset Method entirely. So yeah, now it's a really long stretch right now.
This is tough as well. I mean, Ultimate Web, yesterday I think he was a big factor in getting the win and keeping them alive in this tournament. Today it feels like we're not quite seeing that same level out of him where he's just dominating single-handedly, right? Just showing that star performance. He's dropped off a little bit. He's having difficulty actually winning these duels versus Surefour, it looks like. And well, Method kind of need him to wake up. He's one of the 2 DPS damage dealers on the team. And well, yeah, if he's not getting kills, it's obviously going to make their life a little bit more difficult.
A little bit more of an aggressive setup here, especially what I like is Reaver being on that right-hand side, just ready to see them if they're coming in. That's certainly going to help out a lot. Tibet already taking out Snow, who seems to be shut a little bit out of these last couple of fights. And the Reaver doing Surefour here on the Reaper doing so much damage at the moment with those shotguns. He's going to get a chance to go at it again. And right now, Method, they're very persistent, but now the Reaper ultimate is up.
And they're starting to die. And so this is where exactly the disengage comes in. Well thought out. Rolf, just die instantly. Die, die, die. Don't hang around. Don't delay it. Just get picked off and go for the res and come in as a unit because you have your ultimates now. Snow is going to get picked. No, he manages to stay alive. How is this? He's still here. You think with the hook, that's a death sentence. You think he's gone, but no, he manages to actually stay alive. That's a huge save for him.
What a great backtrack into it. That is so funny. One of the really funny mechanics of Tracer, obviously. Looked like he should have been definitely gone then. On this final point as well, we talked about the Mei already coming out, but I mean, they could be Diva later on if they want to buy more time. There's the ult coming through, but not doing too much damage for Surefour. A lot of it being blocked, but in the aftermath, he almost takes down that Zenyatta Tibet fighting on the point. Transcend this is out for Method. They're doing a very good job picking up people. Kai with the Mei, he could maybe buy some time here. He's got the ice wall up, and is he going to be able to do it? He finally goes down, and Ultimate Web getting so many kills in here. Method, they're on track to getting this last point.
Now they're looking solid. They're picking them off one at a time. They're staggering the reses, and so it's just going to be a clean trickle coming in here from Cloud9, basically. And they're just not able to get anything to stick. Method will be able to tie this up 2-2 in the rounds. And, well, Method, it seems once you get those points going, they start getting a bit more into their comfort zone. That looked a lot better than on Route 66 with the payload push. And, of course, Snow smiling.
Well, he was doing that when they were losing too, so I don't know if we can even count on that. He's just perpetually happy. What a great person. How does he do it?
That's still in school as well. I think he's got like just a couple months left.
That's how he's not actually made it into the real life yet.
Exactly, into real world, right? I know. It hasn't dawned on him.
Now I know.
I mean, I think that's the thing. He graduates in like a couple of months, and then it's obviously going to be taking steps to be able to put more time in. And then I think that Method are definitely a team to keep an eye on right now. There's a lot going on here that could be very interesting in the months to come.
I find myself wishing that I could replay the last sort of 45 seconds of that push in there, because Cloud9 ended up winning a big fight early on, right? And that's where they sort of pushed them all the way out. They got the hook on Snow, and then they sort of managed to escape. But even then, they were in a good position, right? And Method just came right back into it. I think one of the big things was the Transcendence that was popped right at the end seemed to be almost perfectly timed. Like no one had died yet.
Yes.
And then, but they were all really low on health, so it just got everybody up and running again. That was really quite impressive. So now we're into further time back here. We're gonna see Method and Cloud9 go at it one more time here on Temple of Anubis, with Method pushing out on the offensive.
Oh, and here's the change. Okay, so giving up on the Reaper to start. It looks like it's going to be Ultimate Web going after the Genji, and they're just going for mass mobility here. Winston, Genji, and Snow dying early. That's a huge pick for Surefour, actually. Going to allow his healers to take a little bit of a sigh, a little bit of a breath, rather, as Eggsy tries to push the point, trying to lock down Grego, but he just can't do it.
Really good defense. Cloud9 absorbing the attack, just falling back, all of them together. I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, sometimes on this first point, we see people actually try and defend all the way from the high ground. There is sort of a little bit of verticality on this map. You can, like, right next to the point, you can go all the way up, not just one story, but 2 stories up. And we see people try and do that every once in a while, but Cloud9 not willing to give Method the space for it. High Noon not going to do too much.
I like it. It's just buying even more time. Method have a minute 20 left. That is not a lot to work with. You have one good push, and then maybe you get the scramble going after that if it fails. And so Cloud9, they're just going to take as much time as possible, but here we go. Snow is still alive this time, and Ultima Web as well on the point. But Ultima Web, he's getting hunted down, and he's not going to make it out. Tibet will shut him out.
Grego down, Adam down as well, and Reaver going to be out of it. Method finally coming in with a couple of kills here. Snow fighting, and in the back line, still with the assistance of Lucio. So we're going to see if they can make this work. Being kicked, in fact, Tibet is going to go down, and Method en route to take the first point. Seemed solid this time, I think.
I got to say, like, jumping Winston has got to be one of the more epic things, right? And the way he lands, too, is total, you know, getting into DBZ territory. Just crack. You imagine the ground just cracks beneath his weight? Yeah, I don't know. It was a good push coming in. And I think Snow staying alive really made the difference. Him being, I mean, he got picked off in the first push immediately, wasn't able to have an impact. Snow this time around going into the second push, along with Ultima Web.
I'm a big guy, but I would be intimidated if the monkey came jumping at me.
With a gun that shot lightning.
Yeah, that would be scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't tase me, bro.
Ultima Web down here. He's got the ult up already, and yeah, this is a point where I think the Dragon Blade is actually going to be able to do quite a lot of work. You can kind of expect that they are all going to be on the point, but it can't be, I think, right at the beginning. I think it has to be like right a little bit further later in. He's actually going to pop it already, and the sound barrier, and this is the problem. He's just going to get CC'd entirely, and Snow, Ultima Web, that's a huge ult coming out of the Tracer, and following up Snow, now with a triple kill, and Method, what a great time they're setting right here. Much smoother than the first time. He's still alive, Snow, looking for more. That's going to be the quad kill, and Ultima Web also helping out on Reaver. Stunning teamwork coming out of Method. I was definitely doubting the wisdom of those early ultimates, but it really worked out for them. Look at this.
They're just taking over. May trying to buy as much time as possible. That's her job. That's what she does, but it's not going to be good enough, and Method will lock it out. And, well, that's what you expect to see, right? Method, they have like 5 ults going into that fight, but I got to give it to Psycho Waffle. He gets that sound barrier off just as the engage goes in. That gives his teammates enough beef to work with, enough HP where they can survive the counter push coming out from Cloud9, but they really just took the initiative. I think that's the big thing there for Method. They're like, right, time to go. We're going to take the fight. And there wasn't anything Cloud9 could do once Ultima Weapon Snow got that wombo combo off. I mean, you have Genji Dragonblade, Snow with the bomb and the Graviton Surge. Just so much AoE damage.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really thought they made a mistake in going for the Dragon Blade as almost the initiating weapon. And you saw how quickly Ultima Web also got seized. Like, he just got controlled. They instantly charged him. They instantly managed to shut him down. But then that didn't matter when Snow was about to pick up 4 kills in a row. But yeah, I think I would almost. My philosophy was maybe if they wait with the Dragon Blade, then it's going to catch them off, and like it's going to catch them a little bit off guard, and they're going to be because once the fight is going, that almost forces the defending team to group up a bit more. Like they have to sort of try and group up to stop the attack, and that's when I think something like Dragon Blade could do a little bit more damage.
This is what's so fun about this game, though. There are so many layers, right? Because after that, it's like, oh, but they group up. But then what happens if Zarya has Graviton? Then you're all screwed because you're all going to be stacked up together. It's just, I almost wonder if they were just like, actually, Ultima Web, go die. Just go die. Be the sacrificial lamb. Run in there. They're going to have to focus on you. And then it all just kind of spins out from there. But now they swap sides, and Method are going to be on the defense. Cloud9 not going to be challenged going straight through the gate. And they actually have some options here. There's the trap, though. And again, that Junkrat coming into play. Eggsy, we'll see if he can actually get some damage here.
Yeah, but the concussion mine actually got found out there. I mean, it wouldn't have killed the Winston, I think, but still, that's part of the trap already gone. Now Chronic going to be charging in aggressively. Rolf and Snow picking up some kills. Snow with another double kill. Tragically, it's going to be Junkrat out of it. And Reaver with a really good hooking, trying to see if maybe he could follow up on some more, but he's lost almost all of his teammates.
Yeah, that was, that's where I was actually hesitating a little bit because Method decided to take the fight, but Reaver, he's not going to be stopped. Finally, Ultima Web, it takes Ultima Web and Snow hunting him down to end his reign of terror, but he did so much damage there, Reaver. and that might actually open things up because it obviously takes longer for rezzing members to come back from Method to get onto the point. Cloud9, they're already here.
And look at the great intuition on Reaver. When he's close range against such a big target as Winston, he's using the regular attack on the shotgun, and all the pellets are going to hit. As soon as he's medium distance against a smaller target, he's going to use the secondary fire, and he just gets that kill. Really, really solid Roadhog play coming out. Surefour getting a kill. Reaver here as well, fighting for the second point, and they are just making, again, a really good time, utterly annihilating Method. Going forward, they have 4 minutes at the moment.
Whoa.
Okay, then.
He's in lower orbit now. Like Cloud9, though, man, they are just powering through. No answer for the nano boost this time around. Surefour, he's so cocky. He's just like, right, time to pick off some squishies. Gets in there, gets the picks. D.Va going to try and buy some time, but this is getting a little bit scary here. Cloud9, they still have some members alive. They've got an angry monkey just swinging around on the side as well. But they are able to stabilize with that Transcendence. This is buying just enough time. Psycho Waffle, though, not aware that Surefour was going for the flank, but Surefour going to get picked off.
I'm really starting to appreciate more and more why Huck keeps talking about Rolf as being a really good Zenyatta player. It seems like every time he's just at the right place at the right time with that Transcendence, and it's definitely saved him this time. He doesn't just use it as like a panic, I'll stay alive and keep the point ticking. He manages to get there just when they still have 3 or 4 people on the point, and then he can keep everybody alive. So really solid defense.
And this is where Junkrat can really get annoying. Look at this. He's just lobbing grenades all over the place. A lot of tight choke points to get into this second point here, the cap point. So he's going to be able to do a lot of damage if he's aware of his positioning. Chronic going to find the first kill on Debet, and that was after a Mei wall as well. Well played there by Ultima Web, cutting off the Reinhardt. That's going to delay things further here for Cloud9, who have to wait for him to res and lumber back towards the entrance to the point. And so, still, despite that, Cloud9, they've got 2 minutes 45. That's still, you know, a healthy amount of time to work with here for a push.
It could definitely be done, and they're building those ultimates. They got 3. Adam almost has his, and I mean, Debet's going to be the last one to get it, and it's a really big ult to be lacking in a fight, though, but they could still initiate without it if they feel like they are pressed for time.
Oh, this could be a good. Snow, he's so close to getting his ultimate. He's nearly there. They're all stacked up, but he's not going to get it in time. You could see it. It would have been beautiful, but now he does actually have the bomb. And if they stay stacked up like that, Cloud9, they are going to get punished. What a Mei wall.
Oh, that just zoned out the push. They were coming in with a speed boost and everything, and it just basically cut the point in 2. Now Grego and Surefour have gone down. Method putting up an even better defense, and there's the freeze coming in from Mei. Kai not with any kind of a chance to survive there. Wow, Method then, they're being very offensive here with their defense, and now they're going to be falling back. So they just poke out, take a couple of kills, and then they're back in again.
I'm getting this feeling that Method are like, yeah, give us capture points all day, every day. This is us in our zone. We don't have to worry about pushing a payload anywhere. You know, we just have to control this spot. They do seem to have a real good feel for it, and Cloud9 are struggling. But now look at the ultimates. Cloud9 have got so much to work with here. They have the nano boost up, and it's just, you know, pick your poison, because Surefour's about to have Death Blossom as well, so this could get real difficult here for Method.
XC in the back line. This Junkrat ultimate is not easy to find, and now they're finding on the point, but only for a second there. Ultimate Web going to be going down. There's the Junkrat ult chasing them in the corner, and XC going to be picking up the kill on Adam, and Method looks like they're going to be able to defend once again. They've got a very good advantage going into this. A lot of people left alive. Psycho Waffle picking off Reaver, and then Surefour dies to Chronic, and that will be it. Now we've got down to 55 seconds here for Cloud9. They're rapidly running out of time, and worse than that, Semler, they're running out of ultimates.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. They just put 6 ults pretty much into that. Cloud9, I mean, Debet still got his Earth Shatter, but everybody else just full out, all out ult war, and Method come out ahead. Sick plays from Method so far to hold on to this, and 35 seconds left. When you only have an Earth Shatter, that better be a money Earth Shatter. You got to get 3 people, 4 people stunned to bet and set it up for your teammates. Surefour, he's got that Pharah raining rockets in, and there's the pick to start things off. Chronic is down, and so is Snow.
Oh, that's so big. Chronic had his ultimate as well, so he's going to be out of these rockets, raining down death from the sky. It's going to be Rolf dying next. Surefour making such a lot of work here for his team and trying for the next one. May going to survive for the moment. Now it is Chronic back in the action again, but he's just living through all of this. Now the ult comes out on the Frozen Winston, just doing so much here. But the Blizzard coming out of the Mei on the Method side, and then coming in Exi with the ultimate, and finally Rolf with the Transcendence. Method keeping it alive in overtime right now. They're getting so many kills, and they got the advantage on the point here. Junkrat eating through the shield under Bet. It's just such a lot of damage, but he does get a double kill. This fight just won't end. Finally, they take the Bet out of it, and now the overtime is going to be running down.
What?
5 goes in. How can it possibly be? Grego going to be in the corner, and now the Bet, he's out. They surely have nothing left. Cloud9 running out of time, and Method, they're going to be able to take this second map. Unbelievable.
I'm just speechless, man. This is nuts. You know, Method are just like, all right, you don't want to play Koth? Well, we'll bring Koth to you. You just can't kill him. Cloud9, what a clutch res at the end, too. You were just thinking, they might have a chance, but
look at them. I'm laughing, too. This is so funny, because it just won't end. It just doesn't stop. You think for sure, you know, they get everything right. The revive almost bringing it back, but not quite. That means, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to a map 3.
yes, and that means that we're going to run the full gamut, actually. 3 out of the 4 different map types. Now we get Hollywood, which is going to be the hybrid map. Cap the point at the start, then push the payload through, so.
Also a song by Madonna at one point in time. Don't know if you remember. No, Hollywood, definitely an interesting map. I look forward to seeing it. It's one of those maps that we've been seeing a lot of nano-boosted Reapers on. So
yes,
I'm gonna make that call. I feel like it's not a potentially outrageous thing for me to predict. I feel like I'm safe in saying someone's gonna get nano-boosted at some point within the next couple of days.
What's wild is just Method and Rolf basically just saying, right, we know that this is the current meta to play Ana and play Nano Boost, but you know what, guys? We don't actually need that. Transcendence, Discord Orbs, these are the tools necessary for us. This is the replay of the big boom. But
you see how much that sound barrier helps them out in that, but it's still a great ultimate combo. They still do a hell of a lot of damage.
This team play between Exy and Snow is just getting more and more refined. They're playing here together. They're able to communicate, sit side by side, and you're just starting to see that really gel between the two of them.
And that Deadeye that we just saw come out was interesting because it was a swap out of the Reaper. Like, it started in the Genji, swapped into the Reaper, and then right at the end, I don't think it was panic. I don't want to say it's panic, but they just thought, all right, let's try with the McCree instead, and it definitely worked out. And then this last team fight, well, wow.
Chaos. I just, yeah, tooth and nail, neither team willing to give ground. And, well, really just Method showing some true strength of will. But look at this, despite Surefour, you think Surefour is just raining down death and destruction from above. Nobody is stopping this guy, and yet somehow Cloud9 are still not able to get that point. And that's where it's really got to be frustrating, right, for Cloud9. I mean, despite everything Surefour did. You got Chronic on your screen there, but, I mean, Cloud9 are in the huddle right now, so they can't really get a shot at Surefour. But still, that looked like Surefour was just going to open everything up for Cloud9, and still somehow Chronic and his teammates able to hold on.
The last point, we saw a lot of Mei being played as well, which is definitely really impressive. That ultimate, the Blizzard there, because you know people are going to be on the point. But more than anything else, like the Ice Wall, you saw it used a couple of times to zone out the team that's coming in. If you can put it up right in the middle of the attacking team as they're pushing in, especially because both teams would utilize the Lucio speed boost to run in with. So they're going to be really fast, and they're all focused on getting in there quick while it's up and running on full speed. And then that Ice Wall goes up and just sort of zones them out. It's so good.
I mean, we got to see plenty of Mei play as well in the first best of 3 of the day. I mean, Seagull, if you want to watch some good Mei, tune in to his stream, watch Seagull, because that guy is nuts. He really shows just how, I mean, you aren't really, it's a character with, a hero rather, with so many tools at her disposal, right? You can elevate her up using the wall as well. So if you need to get the high ground, boom, throw down the wall. You can boost up there, and your ultimate covers the entire point. I think that's one of the most ridiculous things, is that it just covers everything. It's so huge. And so Mei is just, she's got so many tools to work with.
And this tweet is not too far off, I would say. It oddly, and it was the same yesterday, it feels like Method play better when they've almost thrown the game away.
When the pressure is on, yeah.
Right in the end, they're like, all right.
It is actually ridiculous, right? Because they actually didn't have nearly as much time as Cloud9 did to work with, and yet still able to hold on to the point.
They're like, they're playing Overwatch like I would treat assignments in high school. You know, you finish them on the last day, like, you know, right before midnight, you're like, I'm just going to try and write the last on this essay. Let's see if I can make it work. But, you know, I felt like I was doing a really good job then, you know.
Well, I
more
mean,
focused at that point in time.
At that point, you know, it's like if you're getting the assignment in, you should be happy. You're already giving yourself a pat on the back, right?
I don't think Method care how close it is as long as they win, you know? That's all that really counts here. Now, we are going to be heading into Hollywood, which is an exciting map and definitely a lot of space for a lot of different kind of play. So I look forward to, especially I think the street stage is so interesting because of all the verticality. So you can pick a lot of different heroes just to try and be very, very mobile. We are going to be seeing early on Cloud9 on the defense and Method are going to be in the offense here. And are you seeing any picks that really sort of shock you here early on?
Not really. Method are going to their strengths. It's the Tracer Genji Winston combo, again with Xe on the Zarya to back them up with bubbles. So they're just looking to swarm the point, sow chaos. If Snow doesn't get picked off early, I think that it should definitely work out for him. Obviously, this is one of their stronger comps. Cloud9, not going for the triple tank. I thought perhaps they would try and make that work, but because Kai right could go on the Zarya or something along those lines. Instead, they're going for 2-2-2. Still Grego on the Ana. I think Grego is pretty much like married to Ana at this point. Like, we're just not seeing him change at all. But it's Surefour on the Reaper, plus, you know, obviously the Reinhardt. So you have two really strong options for the nano boost.
See Xe on Widowmaker. Is that really going to be like a lasting thing? He's going to swap out of it again. I did wonder. I think he was just hoping that Cloud9 would be more aggressive in the beginning and sort of be all the way out on the street there, but it's not quite going to happen. Ultimate Web going to be making his way around the back line and already causing a bit of distraction, just, you know, occupying the Reaper at this point, but also now going to be Roadhog coming into it, so just being a little bit of a distraction up until this point.
Fascinating, because he gets information exactly as to where these two guys are set up, but there's no escape! What a hook from Reaver! Ultima Web playing the information game, trying to get some info on the setup, and he gets punished. And there we go, grinds that offense to a halt. Method now have to wait for him to res to be able to get that push going again. If it wasn't Snow getting picked off this time, it was Ultima, but Method, they need to get a little bit more clean here with their push onto the point.
You feel that?
They are going to be jumping in. There's Winston. Chronic just making a leap all the way in the back. Another big hook coming out. Reva is such an impressive Roadhog player. Now we're going to see Rolf in the back line here, trying to see if he can land some of these orbs and doing some damage, but it doesn't matter when his team is pretty much out of it, and both him and Psycho Waffle are going to be going out. Really good spacing between the kills here for Cloud9. They get the first 4 kills, and then there's a good 7 seconds, before they get the next 2 on the supports.
I feel like right now, though, Cloud9 are actually coming out pretty far ahead, because look at the ultimate game going on. Rolf staying alive and landing some orbs, that's great, because he's actually the closest to getting his ult. Now, that Transcendence will be so important, and what a clutch wall from Kai. No backing off there for Winston. A little bit of a scary moment. But, I mean, Cloud9, they're about to have 6 ults, actually. This is going to be a little bit silly. How are Method supposed to break in here when they're so far behind? All they have to work with is Transcendence. Psycho Waffle still 30% off of his sound barrier.
Can't really do anything. Snow's going to be going down. They just have to try and build basically more ultimate charge here before this can really work. You see them getting entirely cleaned up. And what they really need, I think, is a Graviton Surge on Xe. They need to set that up. They've got Snow with the Pulse Bomb. That's fine. You see Ultimate Web, sadly, is going to be quite far away from his Death Blossom. This is tough. Now, Snow actually swapping into Hanzo. Okay. What do you make of that?
Is this turning into a poke game? Like, how does that work? Are you just trying to wear down the Reinhardt shield fast so you can be able to push in and not really have to worry too much about the bed? I mean, this is going to be tricky. As Whole Hog goes down, Reaver just looking to buy more time. The Transcendence used immediately by Method. That's Rolf throwing it, and Xe will find the kill on Debet, so that shield not lasting, and now that sets it up! The big play from Xe. Quad kill, and now it's just Surefour trying to buy the time. But maybe that was what it was all about. Make sure that Reinhardt shield isn't there so he cannot mitigate any damage when it comes to the Graviton. I'm lost for words at this point in time. Like, also Cloud9 going that aggressive and popping a couple of their ultimates as, you know, just really far out and then having to fall back like that. That was just a very weird fight coming out, but Method reading the game quite well, you can tell. Now, this is the verticality we're talking about. Now they're up a level above Method, and that high ground advantage is always going to be really important. Now, Snow here. I do love the Hanzo pickaxe at this stage just because of the Sonic Arrow to try and see if he could maybe get a clue about what's going on. Oh, no! He tries to get over the wall, but he gets frozen. What a horrible way to go. You would think, right? He can climb walls, but no, ice is slippery, Anders. That's cold. Just can't get the grip. Can't get a good grip on it. I mean, now Snow has got the dragons, And so this could get interesting. Ultimate Web is 10% off of his ult as well, and there it is. The Dragons have set it up, but an instant answer from Kai with the wall into the ice block. He's just going to be trying to survive as long as possible, buying time for his teammates to get into position, and in the meantime, Surefour and Debet are going to work.
I was about to say I wasn't a big fan of Snow using that, but you see he's already up to 30% on ult. I wanted him to wait for XC, but it seems like it's going to be timed pretty well anyway with the 2 ultimates there. Surefour going to be Wraith formed back to the rest of his team, and right now Cloud9 are doing a great job defending this second stage here on Hollywood. The ice wall coming out from Kai just saying we're going to delay this team fight even just a little bit here. I would love to see the XC and Snow ults comboed here. Graviton Surge and then the Dragons coming out of Snow, that would be big.
That would be sick. But Snow is on McCree now. He's got 85% already charged up, so he's been doing some damage, and it's looking like the same combos before, but here we go. Nano into the Death Blossom, but he gets canceled immediately. Ultimate Web not able to get anything out of it. And now the follow-up. Chronic just trying to buy some time.
Oh, almost getting the charge in, but not quite going to happen. He's swinging that hammer, but frozen as well. There's going to be some good kills happening from Method, but can they followed up and actually push that payload all the way through? Chronic certainly doing a very good job, and he's got McCree and Anna right at his side. Rolf going to be picking up one. Debet going down to Chronic. It's looking much better for Method. Finally, they're getting some momentum here, and after a really long stall and delay early on the stage, they just push all the way through.
Look at that. It's what's crazy is Rolf has almost got his nano boost again. 95%. Snow's going to get that Deadeye ready to go as well, and he just throws it out there. He wants to try and force Cloud9 off of challenging this point. And so far, I mean, it's just all of the ults coming out here from Method, and they completely and utterly annihilate Cloud9. Not a thing that Cloud9 could do, it seems, in that scenario.
Beautiful flashbang headshot combo coming out of Snow there. I mean, hitting the Tracer, it's not always necessarily the easiest job in the world, but definitely impressed by that one. We'll see if it's going to be any different here for Cloud9. Now I feel like, because Method has pushed for so long here, they need to show that they can put an end to it at the final point.
Nice try there by Ultimate Web, trying to maintain that high ground advantage, but Surefour not going to let him stand up there, and Rolf not in position to get the heals onto him. And so, and look at this, Surefour's already in position. He's going to be able to shoot him in the face. Ultimate Web somehow doesn't take that much damage. Thought that he would definitely get picked there by Surefour. But the ult's now coming into play, and Adam not wasting any time. Sound barrier already used.
Ultimate Web jumping down. Looked like he wanted to go for a really big ultimate, but still saving it. It's going to be through the shield of Reinhardt. He finally goes down, and his teammates couldn't back him out. They were sewn down by the Blizzard from Kai. They couldn't make it in to help him out, and now Cloud9 finally answering back in style here. Surefour going for the fight, and they may be overextending here. I feel like maybe Cloud9 needs to just chill for a moment.
Deep breath, yeah, exactly. Deep breath, no need to overextend, no need to actually make life easier here for Method. Method, they came out in a pretty decent situation. Look at that, Eggsy's nearly got his Graviton, and you have 4 ults to play off of here for the push, whereas Cloud9, 4 as well. So this is going to be a very even fight, actually, when it all comes down to it, although Cycle Waffle is much closer to getting his sound barrier than Adam. And so let's see, are they going to be able to get anything done? Ultimate Web gets the drop on Reaver somehow, and this is all falling apart for Cloud9. They just get completely swept away.
Ultimate Web, look at the combo. We did warn it was going to happen on this map. It's been so popular, and he gets 4 kills practically in a couple of seconds there. What a massive win coming out now. Can they push it all the way to the end? The respawns are coming in. You can see him camping right outside the spawn. The counter nano boost coming out on the Reaper, and that's just Surefour charging in all the way. Uses the speed. He gets a double. Reaver there as well to take one more out. Snow fighting back with a double kill of his own, and Ultimate Web is still alive for a moment fighting Anna, but he's going to be going down, and Cloud9 managed to hold the defense. Look how close that is.
Look at how fast Surefour is, though. He gets boosted, and it's just like, oh, second later, he's in the middle of your team. Your whole team's dead. It's just from one point to the other, just so quickly.
They even had super advanced warning, right? They literally had the other Reaper. They had Ultimate Web just watching that. And speaking of Ultimate Web, he has his own ult up and running right now. They just put down the sound barrier, so he's pushing through. Gonna go for it. He gets the 1 kill in. Second one there. XC helping out, getting a double kill of his own. They're fighting for it. They just need a bit more, but we are in overtime here. And Rolf taking down Reaver now. Reaver versus Reaver battle. It's gonna be Surefour trying to stay alive. Very, very low, and I think he's discorded as well. This is not looking good for Cloud9. They're dropping players. Adam, you're using the sound barrier, trying to keep them alive. This fight is one of those, it will go on and on. Debet now on the Diva to try and buy time, and May coming out on Kai. They just got all the tanky heroes on, but a great Earth Shock there. Gonna be able to get the 1 kill, and Chronic picking up their bet, and that's gonna be Method pushing their way to the end in overtime. Not an easy task. I think that Earth Shatter coming out of Chronic, they're definitely helping out.
Yeah, no, that was a big play, but also, I mean, I gotta give a bit of a giggle because he just ejected D.Va basically to her death. He was like, no, get off the point. Just boom, hammer. I hope you guys heard that. Eggsy is pumped, Method is pumped, they're bringing it back, and Cloud9, basically the favorite in this matchup, although it is very close. We're seeing a level, I think, that many people weren't expecting from Method coming into this tournament right now, that's right. And Cloud9, well, you know, everybody going into this, they're expecting Cloud9 to be the team to come out ahead, and it's just not working.
Oh.
Whoa,
Hey,
sick.
The family here and watching.
Shout out to the fam.
That is definitely cool. You know, I am seeing this more and more. Sort of, you know, parents who are supportive of their children saying, we want to be professional video game players. I can sort of understand how that's news that not all parents want to hear, but I mean, we are in Atlanta. We're at the Turner Studios, so it's. I think it's starting to seem more realistic. Let's put it like that.
Not all madness, definitely. And well, I mean, this is so sick for Method as well. I mean, just because, you know, Cloud9, obviously established brand, established team. Method, they're really showing that, hey, you got to pay attention to these guys. They've got some skill. They're definitely capable of putting on a show. Look at this. We're going the distance. It's tied 1-1 in maps, and now it's up to Cloud9. Let's see if Cloud9 can actually push and make it to that third point the way that Method did in the first half here on this map, on this third map, Hollywood. And what's the setup now for Method? Eggsy is going to change it up. He's actually going for the Roadhog. And Snow, look at this.
Yeah, early on the McCree, we haven't seen that too much.
Yeah. Different approach. Chronic is going to have the Reinhardt shield, sure. But yeah, 2-2-2. Rolf is not going on the Zenyatta either, straight Ana. So we're going to have that Ana on Ana fight.
See how that's going to be working out. The Method definitely punching way above their weight right now. Everyone on the panel and unanimously agreeing that Cloud9 was going to be the favorite going into this. But right now, Method putting up a really good fight here. It's going to be an early kill on Exy going down, unable to make it back. And I think maybe the ice wall there just locking him into that tiny room right at the beginning. And now Cloud9 going to try and see if they can maybe push the point behind it. Ultimo coming in behind them on the Reaver, doing some damage, but the hook is going to cause a lot of trouble for him. He does manage to Wraithstorm away a little bit, but is it enough here? Rolf has gone down. Surefour getting 2 big kills on his Reaver, and a little bit more. Debet helping out on Exy. I'm not sure what can happen here. Snow, he tries to use the high noon, but I don't think he gets anything for it, and Cloud9 is going to be taking this point really fast.
Yeah, very quick push onto Cloud9 here. And I mean, even with Exy trying to buy time, he swaps to the Tracer, trying to just, you know, blink his way back to the side as quickly as possible to buy it, but not going to happen. Cloud9 just allowed too much room to work with. They get right up onto the point. Snow, despite having the high ground advantage, not really able to get too much done as far as kills are concerned. Ultima Web, same thing. And really, it's just if you're not going to get the kills, you need to get the picks if you're playing those positions, and it just doesn't pan out. Now Cloud9 are in a great position. They've got 3 ults up and running, and they're soon to have, all 6. Reaver and Kai real close.
What an ult coming in. Surefour, you see him waiting on the rooftop. That's a quad kill, shutting down Method. This street stage of Hollywood can be so elusive, and he just basically says, no, we're just going to be running right through. Going to be taking the elevator up to meet Ultima Web. He's being a gentleman about it as well, not even teleporting right next to him, using that shadow step. He's just going to be slow and easy up the lift.
Ultimate now has his ultimate. Ultima has his ultimate. He has Death Blossom. But you can go for the boosted. I mean, look at what Surefour is capable of doing with the nano boosted Death Blossom. I mean, Ultima Web could try and pull off the same thing, and he is. There's the nano boost, and immediately Kai throwing down the Blizzard, just eliminating any potential for defense on this point. Although Snow and Ultima Web will be able to pick up 2. Snow still alive, doing damage.
Method only right now with the sound barrier on Psycho Waffle, literally just went down to Surefour, so a little bit tricky. I mean, Cloud9 getting a stop for a moment here, but I'm wondering for how long. They have Debet, they have Reaver, and Surefour not too far away from his ult. Kai does actually swap into Winston. That's very interesting. But I think the ult advantage here, it's going to be close, but I think there's a timing window for Cloud9 to hit where they can maybe push through before Method have too many ults.
My ultimate is charging.
They have they still have Death Blossom and they still have Sound Barrier. The Method, I mean, so far, Psycho Waffle's been very good about his Sound Barrier timings. Ultima gets picked off to start though, so that's not going to help. Reaver trying to go for the flashy play, not quite going to get it. Goes whole hog instead. Bit more blunt, bit more brutal. He's just spraying and praying. Where are they? Doesn't find any targets.
Now instead, he's going to be ulted on there. Surefour with the shotguns out, trying to land the kills. The bet going to be taking down Snow, and right now, no ults left for Cloud9, but they are still pushing through. They're just doing it manually. And on the other side, there's 3 ultimates after the next fight coming up for Method here. It should be a really good one, but they need to regroup and get everyone on board. And Snow, did he just swap out of the ultimate? I think he did.
Yeah, it looks like it. He wants that McCree for the long-range poke. Doesn't want to, I mean, in the confines, the close quarters, right? Tracer maybe not the best pick for him. Instead, wants to just stay alive, maybe get that high noon as well to buy more time later on. But Reaver gonna get spotted, and he's just getting massive damage dealt to him, instantly wiped out. And Ultima Web, 2 big kills for him. And that pretty much resets things here for Cloud9. And honestly, Cloud9 shouldn't be too, they shouldn't be too greedy here. 4 minutes still on this clock. No need to just run in and waste ults. Take your time. You got, all right, you messed it up this time? That's fine. Whatever. They had to use an ult combo to do that. And so now you know, right, they don't have nano boost. We can just kind of charge in there.
And you could already see what Cloud9 are thinking. We're going to get the Graviton Surge on Reaver, and then we're going to win one big fight and win this game. They have a lot of time left to play around with here. Already Method being forced back here, and that payload getting pushed closer. They don't have this the Sorry ultimate, and they're still making this work, but they do have another 3, including that nano boost. It's out on the Reaver. Surefour coming through. He's going to get the 1 kill, but can't find too many other targets. Flashbang, and he still gets the kill on Snow and goes back for more, and this is going to be a lot of trouble. Just Surefour making quick work of Method, and that's going to be Cloud9 able to pick it up. Obviously, Method are going to be able to try and see if they get another minute in the second go around here with the time back, but still, what a great time being set by Cloud9.
And just good ult economy there, management basically coming out from Cloud9. They read that situation like a book. They're like, right, you don't have the big combo to stop us. We get to walk in with impunity now, and then you give that kind of space to Surefour to work with, and horrible things happen to you if you're on Method, basically. Sick plays, but this is just back and forth. You gotta love it. All of our games so far today have just been fantastic. Real nail biters.
I mean that one game on Numbani that ended up going into real overtime was very interesting. But yeah, all 3 maps being played right here, and Hollywood proving to be difficult. But obviously Cloud9 just with a much better chance. I think defending that first point, you got a minute left, then how are you going to be able to deal with it? That means you hardly have time to build ultimate. You're going to have to be so quick. Cloud9, what do they do?
Yeah, 1 good push, and I just wonder, is it time to go back to the tried and true for Method? The Tracer Genji Winston combo, right? Just get in there fast, and hope you catch somebody out of position. If Snow or, I mean, if they're able to stay alive, but no. Looks like it is going to be another 2-2-2 approach here for Method. 2 supports. Rolf is going to be on the Ana. No Genji here, or no Zenyatta rather here. I keep mixing those 2 up. They are not going to go for the big flash play. They are just going to be trying to hold here.
Reaver trying for a chance hook. Not going to make it work. Making their way around the corner, and again they really try and see if they can make their way through. Reaver sneaking around, not making any sound because he's crouched back here, and what a hook coming out, taking down Psycho Waffle. A big kill here for Cloud9 on the offensive, just see if they can make it work. And Method, they have to defend for quite a long time here. Kai poking in there with the blast, just trying to see if he can spray down anybody. Rolf, a lot of trouble in the middle there on the Ana, but the sleep actually does come out. See if he can maybe do something with that.
Snow get in position to use his Deadeye. Is it even worth it? I mean, he's still alive. Well, never mind. He's dead. Thought perhaps he would have a chance, but even then it would be a stretch. I mean, when you're the last man alive pretty much and you've lost the whole point already, is it worth throwing away the Deadeye? Not really sure. But yeah, it's over.
Just unbelievable. Cloud9 gonna be pushing right through, and you see, I mean, they must have been feeling confident. You see them just standing up, and the really convincing victory at the end here. First 2 maps, very interesting. Obviously, Temple of Anubis getting real close at the end. But this map, they were so prepared for, and it kind of goes to speak to a little bit of what we were talking about already about Method being really confident on that King of the Hill style, where we're talking about control points and payload just looking good for Cloud9.
Yeah,
Very impressed.
Yeah, great showing for both teams, to be frank. And right now, I think Method, I mean, have definitely shown that they're a team to contend with, but Cloud9, they did what was expected of them, and they really did manage to make it through to the next step here in the tournament. And so, I mean, great teamwork coming in. Surefour in particular, he's just had a star performance. You got to give it to him. Surefour doing the damage.
There really weren't that much time. I mean, Cloud9, they had, what, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, something at the beginning of that. So if they had failed even a couple of team fights, like you did like a team fight and a half or something, I'm not sure they could have done too much. But the fact that they managed to sneak around, I mean, that initial hook coming out on the enemy Lucio, from creeping around the back like that, that's a good way to set up a win.
Surefour and Reaver, you're right. But guys, we're going to throw it to the analyst desk to break down this best of 3 right after the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a minute.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch Open. We just saw the wrap up between Cloud9 and Method, and it was inches, a game of inches. These guys worked so hard. Both teams really brought their all, and Cloud9 just managed to squeak it out in the end. So thoughts on this matchup, Huck?
The boys are back. The boys are back.
Today is the day of turnabouts. This is where earlier in the day, NRG got their revenge on Liquid, and now C9 got their revenge on Method. So just because you won yesterday does not mean you're going to win today. Lots of excitement.
All right, well, let's throw it up to Malik in the coop for a word from Cloud9.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Kai, yesterday you guys failed the Method, but today you were able to turn it around. What went differently?
We just had to realize we had to take them seriously. They're a lot better than we thought they'd be, a lot stronger.
Cool. You're giving them the respect they deserve. That's awesome. So let's talk about Temple of Anubis when they switched to Junkrat. That was an interesting pick. You guys really didn't adjust, in my opinion. Do you guys think you could have probably played that a little better?
We definitely could have played the second point better on our second attack, but we played the first attack really well, obviously. It's less than 3 minutes. Junkrat didn't really seem to be much of a problem, though. I don't know. Didn't seem to phase us that much.
You think that map's a little bit more variable-based?
Yeah, I mean, that map's definitely sketchy. It's definitely like one of our least practiced 2CP in general, but... Gotcha.
Yeah, so moving forward, you guys got Envious coming up next. I was actually talking to Taimu earlier, and he called you guys out. What do you have to say about that?
Taimu's a clown, man. What can I say? I mean, that's what he is.
Word up. All right, man. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations. Cloud9 lives on to fight another game. Rachel, take it away.
Thank you, Malik. Thank you, Kai. Great insights there. And looking forward to that Cloud9 Envy match. That's going to be a great one. But before we get there, we've got stuff to talk about. Our first map, as Malik said, was Route 66. We don't see a lot of this map. I got excited. Were you as excited by the outcome, ZP?
So Route 66, this was interesting. C9, it felt like they were on the losing end of a lot of fights, but if you looked at it carefully, C9 was dragging out every team fight they lost, where you had Surefour living for a long time. Method was getting the team fight wins, but it took them so long to capitalize in terms of finishing out the last few people that C9 burned tons of time off the clock.
Yeah, they were really slow rolling them. And that comes back to their composition. A lot of times they're running 3 tank, and as well they have great healers. They have Adam, they have Grego, and Grego particularly was doing a great job. I mean, Surefour, you can always rely on him. We said before the match the rest of the team had to show up, and they showed up pretty big. I mean, I don't think Method was playing bad at all. I just think today was a new C9 team.
C9 was playing way better. In fact, one of the notes I have here is just a moment towards the end on the second where C9 almost had a successful style just off tank play alone. It was Kai and Debet looking much more informed today than they looked yesterday. So C9 definitely fixing some problems.
Yeah, we got to be careful here too because they're listening to us. So yeah, Surefour and Adam here did a great job. I really like them. A+.
Yeah, just wonderful people in general. All very, very generous and kind. And
no problems whatsoever.
So handsome, I guess. I don't, what do we say? They're done listening. Are they still listening?
I don't know.
Oh,
Probably.
Well, if they're still listening, they can check in on our analysis of Anubis, which was our second map. And this one was dragged out to the last second. We went everywhere on this map, and we saw all kinds of different play. First time around, second time around. So break it down the first time around.
The biggest thing for Anubis going in, Widow. Widow came back. I was losing myself in the back line. Just like, Reaver went on Widow. I felt like I went back in time. C9 started out with a bang.
Yes.
Yeah, as well, there was a Junkrat on the other side. I think actually the Junkrat was very effective. You heard Kai say that he didn't think it was much of an issue. Altogether, I think that was the X factor that really turned this map around for them. But to be honest, for 90% of this map, C9 played a lot better. It seemed like they had complete control. They had every advantage. And I would just want to comment on Method's attitude. Even though they were losing, they were still in high spirits. We go to the cam, they're all laughing, having fun, enjoying themselves. And I think that is a great attitude for any team to have. Even when they're losing, they have high spirits. And that's something that brought them back. I think if C9 was in Method's position in this game, they would have lost.
Absolutely, and one thing to note about C9 here early on, and you saw it a decent amount of Temple, but really came out on the map after, is that Reaver had a different plan of attack here today, a lot of Roadhog play where his main goal was stopping Ultima Weapon and removing him as a main threat. Now, of course, Method was able to bring things back on Temple. The map is more variable, but you could definitely see the adjustments C9 made coming from yesterday.
Well, and speaking of adjustments, I mean, we played through Method defended Anubis map 1, or the first time around, and they did a great job. But they got kind of, their point of entrance was all the way to the right for Cloud9. They came down that hallway. No roof on that hallway. Came right over with the Lucio ult speed boost. But this time, second time around, Xe shut them down with his Junkrat, was firing entirely into that spot there, so did a great job. Then our third map, we got into Hollywood, and this is where things really got knocked back out.
ZP was highlighting the fact that Reaver on this Roadhog, I mean, it was like airbending every hook, no matter where they were, hitting every time, pulling them across. And I just want to comment, you had a great point. It seemed like they were better at assigning duties. They had Surefour almost always on the tanks, and they always had Reaver on Ultima Web, and he shut down that team. Surefour also, McCrea against that Tracer, doing a great job.
And I just want to elaborate on this point a little bit more when talking about Reaver. I literally, looking to my notes, I think it's Reaver on Web, Reaver on Web, Surefour on Web after a Reaver hook.
Yes.
Reaver was clearly going to take him out because the thing about the Method team is that they're not super well-rounded, and you look at what happened yesterday where a lot of their huge plays came from Ultima Weapon. When you contained Ultima Weapon, they were not anywhere near the same team.
And that's exactly what we talked about before the match. We said that, you know, in traditional sports, sometimes you just have a guy that's a superstar on the opposing team, and you sometimes have to assign 2 people to him and say, you know what, if we can shut this one guy down, we're going to have a great game. You see that with Curry in basketball, and now we see that here with Ultima Web in Overwatch.
Yeah, I think the focus on Ultima Web left a lot of room, though, for Xe to make some big plays on
That is
Zarya.
true, yes.
He was doing amazing work there. So many chokes he locked down.
Personal favorite of yours?
He's a great Zarya player, and Zarya's my favorite.
Yeah, of course. of course.
Well, and there's Surefour for you. Taking a look at the heroes that he played, a lot of variety on Temple of Anubis. I especially like when he pulled